think when you're a diver, you do encounter sharks, and sometimes it can be quite frightening. If you are in a situation where it's just you in the ocean and the shark is circling around you, it can be frightening. But then there are other times, like in this movie, where you can see the relationship between a diver and the shark, that it's not always a life-threatening experience. But there are times when it can be very dangerous.
Our setup is we would get in the water, the three of us, and try to be in a position where we can kind of triangular position so we can have everybody's back. The minute you see a shark, we had a code, a sound code where we either we would create a sound with our mouth in the water and point in the direction of the shark that we saw. In Guadalupe, the visibility could be up to 30, 35 meters, sometimes more. So you can see the shark coming from quite far. So the whole idea is to really scan properly the whole area. And the minute you see a shark, make a sound, point in the direction to make sure that my buddies know there's a shark there and they can continue to do what they're doing, but keeping an eye on the side because there's a shark coming.
You could ask the question, how can a shark maintain eye contact with a person that looks through the mask? And at the same time, there's also other times when the divers are in different positions and the shark's coming from behind. That is a danger, as a matter of fact. The job of the divers is to constantly be aware of the position of the sharks in the vicinity and to try as much as possible to maintain some eye contact. Sharks, being major predators, are quite aware of the animals that are nearby, and humans are animals, of course. They do know when somebody's eyes are on them. They can tell that. They're constantly aware of the situation. Also, the divers report, and it's been reported by scientists studying the sharks, that the sharks have an attitude and an approach that indicates that they're acting very intelligently. They do read the situation very clearly. They know what's going on in the water, and they are watching the activities and the attitudes of the people, in this case the people animals, as it were, involved in the dive.
It's usually, before getting in the water, we would always, from the boat, look at the behavior of the shark. So, we wouldn't go in the water if we felt that there was any risk, any of the shark either behavior was too hectic or too aggressive. So we would always watch this from the surface, and when we felt the sharks were actually smooth, just cruising around, relaxed, we would go in the water. But yes, you can feel right away the different personality of each shark, mainly from how they move in the water.
The eye contact is associated. Sharks have very good eyesight. They can maintain a eyesight even through a mask. When you say when a shark is coming from behind, there would not be eye contact. That is a dangerous period of time. The divers have to watch out for that. They've got to turn around and look. There's something else you should be aware of course, with sharks, and that is that when you're maintaining eye contact, the sharks are not particularly aggressive. They're feeling out the situation. They're just getting a feel for the lay of the land, as it were. Were the sharks to be about to attack, they would change their attitude entirely. As a matter of fact, then their eyes become more closed because they protect themselves against injury. And when they're ready for attack, they're not looking at you. They're just going to attack.
It was one day of shooting that we had one male that was a little bit more aggressive, and that was probably trying to dominate or create a space, and he came to me and Fred in a more aggressive way, and William actually pushed him back by just bumping him with his camera in the gills, and then he moved away. But we could feel that he was trying to establish his hierarchy in the water, and we were at a level in the water that he didn't like.
That situation didn't happen in the film, and it doesn't happen commonly in the case of divers being near the sharks. In those situations, the divers are quite aware that the sharks are not particularly aggressive. Not that they couldn't become aggressive, but because they're quite large, dangerous animals, but they're quite safe to be with the sharks as long as they are respectful of them and, again, maintaining some type of eye contact and some type of awareness, where you as a human are showing that you're not afraid and you're facing the shark and you're not going to run away. You're not a prey animal at that point. You're acting as if you were an equal at that point.
I've only run into great white sharks once while I was diving, and that was in the Galapagos Islands. And 2 great white sharks came right past me to feed on sea lions that had just been born. It is amazing to see how big these sharks are and how they just brush